Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on the channel. The solution is you. I really do appreciate you for stopping by the channel. You could be anywhere, but you've decided to be right here on the solution is you. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. The topic of today: when your vehicle refuses to be an accessory to cheating. Now, men, how many times have you had to tell your woman when she's taking the children to school, using the car, or maybe she's going to run a quick errand, maybe to the local convenience store? In cold weather, you have to let her know to bundle up because usually women, when they are in the car and you have the heat going, they believe that all they need to do is just jump inside. The ride is going to be nice and warm. And so, what difference does it make if they put on a robe or maybe with some pajama pants, maybe throw on some slides and just head on up to the local convenience store? Or if they're going to drop off the kids for school, it doesn't make much difference if you just put on maybe a pair of pants and a light jacket and some flip flops and just run the kids right up to school because it's just 2 miles away. So, what difference should it make? And you've told your woman to bundle up, but she refuses to do this because she's convinced you that she's not going far, that it's just a less than a 10-minute drive. And so, what she does is she has a pajama pants on, maybe a robe, or maybe she has a pajama pants on and a light jacket, and she has some flip flops on. So she jumps in the car, has the kids get in the back, and the heat is on full blast. It might be like 40 degrees outside. So they're in the car, and she runs them up to the school. And maybe this is a situation where she has to get out and just, maybe pass them off to the teacher who's waiting just a few yards away or something like that. But she has to get out of the car. Maybe she has to just get a brief update from the teacher on their behavior or something. So she has turned the car off. She has gotten out at the school and she's speaking with the teachers about the child's scores or maybe a major test or something that's coming up. And then your woman runs back to the car because it's cold outside. So she runs back to the car, gets in, and then she attempts to start up the car, and then she hears this. So now your woman is giving you a call on your phone, asking you to come up to the school so you can check and see what's going on with the car. Now, this might take a while because you may have been in the middle of something. You could have been in the middle of making breakfast, or you could still be in bed, or maybe you're still in the shower. And you get this call, so it's going to take you a little time to get ready and to go up to see what's going on with the car. And in the meantime, as I mentioned, it's about 40 degrees outside. And because she hasn't bundled up like you've been telling her, she's freezing. So now either she has to get out and maybe try to find some type of refuge inside of the school building, which they may or may not let her in, or she may not want to go in, depending on the ways that she's dressed. So now she's trying to wait it out in the car while freezing her butt off. So you definitely have to be prepared out here to deal with the elements and the weather patterns that keep changing, especially if you're in a area where one day it could be very windy, and then the other it could be snow on the ground, and another day it could be raining very hard. So you have to be prepared at all times, regardless of how far away you think you may travel. Even if it's 2 miles away, you have to be prepared, have the proper blankets and things in the car, water and other things in the car just in case something happens, such as the car stalling out. So, speaking of vehicles, everyone who owns a vehicle, you have great pride in your vehicle. A lot of times you keep your vehicle washed and you keep it shined up so you have a special wax or coating that you like to put on your vehicle. A lot of us take pride in our vehicles and we like to put special accessories such as rims or tires, or there may be a special interior that you have inside of your ride. So you have to take great care of your ride if you want it to last. And if you are a person that likes for your ride to compliment you, so you keeping up with all of the maintenance and you want to make sure that everything is looking good inside and out. This complements your character and it makes you look good when you maybe driving through the neighborhood or you're pulling up to a special venue or something. You want everything about your car to compliment you. Now, a lot of you men out there have such a relationship with your car that you have given it a name. So it could be a name like Mean Green or Silver Fox, Blue Devil, Dirty Delilah. And just like you have a relationship with your vehicle, the vehicle that you take care of and the vehicle that complements yourself, your vehicle also has a relationship with you. So there are certain things that you do when you're with your vehicle or in your vehicle that your vehicle looks out for you. It makes sure that you get from point A to B. But then, just like in certain situations where you're not listening and you're not appreciating the luxuries of life, your vehicle has a way of letting you know when it's not appreciative of you. So let me go ahead and get into 3 quick scenarios that show when your vehicle refuses to be an accessory to cheating. Now, number one, honey bunning. So there are a number of men, and if you've never been in this situation, you may have at one time had a buddy who has been in this situation where you had a side piece that was pregnant, and this is a woman who was pregnant with another man's child. Now, you may ask yourself, now, why would a man have a side piece and the woman is carrying another guy's child? Well, I'm not the only one who's heard of this. There are plenty of men who have fetishes about being with pregnant women. There's a lot of psychology behind this. There are different reasons as to why a man would have a pregnant woman as a side piece. One of the reasons could be the woman is vulnerable. So she may be in a situation where the baby daddy has left her and she's in a state of depression. And so she is looking for someone to come and satisfy her needs. Maybe she may be in a state of resentment. So she may have some type of resentment towards the father of the child. Him leaving, maybe he has left to be with a woman who is considered top notch, or a woman who is maybe single, or maybe um, in a situation where she has more freedom or something. And so this woman could be in a situation of disparity and she's just looking for someone to come along and basically take care of her. You'll be surprised about the number of women out there who are pregnant and the father has moved on, and these women are lonely and don't have anyone to talk to because there's no one willing to take them seriously due to the fact that they are carrying. And there's always someone who is looking to take advantage of a situation like this. And a lot of times, the women themselves are also looking to satisfy their sexual needs. And there are many men who are uh, wanting to take advantage of this situation, regardless of what we may think about it. And there are a lot of guys who believe that they can unload as many rounds as they can with no strings attached. So let's say this is a woman that is pregnant and she is just at 9 months, and maybe you or the partner that you know has been having this woman as a side piece because since this woman has been so lonely and desperate that she has been doing everything that he has wanted. And if you have been in this situation, you have been going over to see the side piece like every day around the same time, maybe right before it gets dark. So you're over there and you entertaining this woman, basically treating her like your main woman. You're spending lots of time and you're still knocking it down at 9 months, and you have her all in your vehicle. So every time you come over, she gets in your vehicle and y'all go out and grab something to eat, or you may go out and do a little shopping in certain areas of her neighborhood, and you're just all out and about. And so one day you're out driving and say it's about 9:30 p.m. and this was a day where you were supposed to be still at work, but it was a day that you took off, but your main woman believed that you were at work. So you are in your vehicle and you have the pregnant woman in your vehicle and y'all are just taking a spin around town. Now, this is a woman, even in her condition, likes to get it in no matter what at any given time. So she is very spontaneous. So you guys pull over to a deserted parking lot and get it in for about 10 to 15 minutes. And as you guys are starting to fix yourselves back up and preparing to leave the scene, she all of a sudden gets this tremendous pain in her stomach. So you ask her what's wrong, and then she says, "Oh, I think it's nothing. I think it was just the position that I was in." So you have started the car and you've worked your way back to the freeway, and suddenly you're in some traffic on the freeway. Somebody had a minor fender bender. So now you're in a little bit of traffic. And suddenly she lets out this loud scream. So now that you kind of look up at her and you were frightened because you didn't know what was going on. And then she tells you, "I think I'm going into labor." So she grabs your arm as hard as she can and she's pulling down on your arm, and you're in traffic. So you're trying to maintain control of the steering wheel and you're stuck in traffic. So you can't move forward. So you have to pull over as much as you can. And within a couple of minutes, this woman has had the baby inside of your car. Now, this is the same ride that you and your woman share when she's going to work. Now you got to explain why your ride is all messed up. Number two, reluctant rollout. So there may be some of you guys out there that has you a side piece, and this side piece is a woman that you've been wanting to get at for a long time. She looks very nice. This is a woman that wants to see you as much as possible. And this woman does not have a car, Neither do any of the people who reside with her. And she relies on you to do everything for her. So she expects you to come by and take her to most of her errands. But in this case, this is a woman that is looking at moving. So she needs to get all of the her belongings to a different location. Maybe she's the type that moves from place to place. And you and your main woman, you two share an apartment together. And so you have your car and your woman has her own car. So you're basically taking your car over to the girl to help her move her belongings from one spot to the next. And you've been helping this side piece so much with your vehicle, getting her from one place to the next, that even your main woman has started to suspect that something else has been going on with you. She can't quite place a finger on it, but she knows that you are doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So, usually if you have someone that is basically suspecting you of doing something, then they're going to be asking you a lot of questions and trying to see if everything matches up. So this is what your main woman is doing. She's checking up on you to see if everything's checking out with what you're saying and trying to basically follow up on where you're going. So you've been going over and helping the side piece move a few items, and you have a four-door vehicle. It's a car, so you can only move so much within your car. So your side piece, she's just trying to hurry up and move all of her things. So she has some large boxes and things. So she wants you to move as much stuff as you can within your vehicle at one time. So she has the front passenger seat filled with a couple of boxes, and then she has the trunk filled up with boxes and baskets of women's clothing and hair products and things that she has. And then she has your back seat totally filled up with her jeans and shirts and bras and brushes and shoes and things like that, so that you can help her move from the spot that she's at. And you're just going to be taking this about 15 minutes down the road. So you've have everything loaded up of her stuff. This should be the last of her items, but your car is filled with everything that she has. And so you're about to roll right into traffic coming out of her apartment complex. This is at 5 p.m., so this is at rush hour. And as soon as the coast is clear for you to proceed into the roadway, as soon as you ride into the roadway, your car stalls out and it begins to roll. So you try to you put your car into park and you're trying to start it up, but you can't get it to start and your car is just stopped in the middle of the street. So you make several attempts to start the vehicle, but those attempts went unsuccessful. And so you had to get out of the vehicle and try to push, but the vehicle was too heavy because of all of the items that weighed down the vehicle. So you had someone get out who was parked right behind you. They got out of the vehicle in the middle of the street and they helped you push the vehicle to the side of the road. So now that you're on the side of the road, you go ahead and you pop the hood and you take a quick assessment at what could be wrong with the vehicle. And then you find out that it's a drive belt that is broken. You had a drive belt that was worn and that it had snapped under all of the pressure of everything that been weighing your car down. So now you're going to have a, a tow. So a tow truck has to come out and you can't leave the vehicle over your side piece's house because your vehicle would get towed. So now you have no choice but to take the vehicle back to your residence. So now you've called the tow truck, you and the driver are driving back to your residence, and you're thinking in your mind about how you're going to proceed and get the car dropped so that you can ease it into the parking spot at your apartment complex. And as soon as you pull up inside to your building in the apartment complex, you see your woman is already outside, happen to be talking to one of the neighbors in the complex. So now she sees that the driver is dropping your car and all of the items are loaded in your vehicle. So then she stops the conversation immediately and walks over and say, "Hey, what's all this inside the vehicle?" So you trying to play it off as in trying to come up with excuses, and she done already opened the door and she's looking through the boxes and sees that there are some panties and bras and things in there. Now you're in trouble. Number three, midnight smackdown. So you may be a guy who has been in a situation where at your job you have a woman who is really not your preference. This is one that, fellas, have you ever been in a situation where there's a woman that's checking for you, but she's really not what you would like, but is something that you will kind of entertain at nighttime when no one is out and maybe you can slide by the house and nobody would know. So it's one of those situations. And maybe this is a woman who has some big breasts, but the face is not on point. Or maybe this is one that has the back that everybody wants a piece of, but does not want to be seen with her in public. So this is one of these types where she's been checking for you. So in your mind, this is an easy win as long as nobody knows that you two were together. And so she gives you the number and you slide by the house. Maybe it's on the weekend, on a Saturday night at midnight. So you slide by the house and this is a stormy night. So this is a night where it's thundering and lightning and it's extremely windy and the rain is coming down. But this did not stop you from heading over her house. So you arrive, it's at midnight, and this is a woman who has been for the longest checking for you. So she has been kind of giving you hints and letting you know what you can pretty much expect once you come over. So it's midnight, you've arrived, you pulled up in the driveway. Now she has her car already parked in the garage. So you've parked outside the garage, but you're in the driveway and you jump out of your car and you go and you knock on the door. So she lets you in. She's already in her robe. So you go ahead and you go in. Now, inside, you have a seat on the couch. And so she's in the kitchen making you two some drinks. And when she's finished with the drinks, she comes back and joins you on the couch. And so she sits on one corner of the couch and you're sitting pretty much on the other corner. And she has a movie on. So she serves you a drink and she begins to talk with you. And she's asking you questions about what made you decide to come on over because you never really talked to her at work. And so you're kind of trying to throw her just a few excuses as to why you really don't talk to her, but you deep down know the reason why you don't really holler at her at work. So you're just there to get the goods. And so after a while, she asks you, so what you want to get into. She lets you know that she has a few X-rated movies that she can throw on. So you say, okay, cool, go ahead and throw on what you want to throw on. So she goes and puts one of the X-rated movies on onto the big screen, and while she has it on, she kind of moves in next to you and hikes her leg up a little bit so you can take a look at all of the thickness. At this time, your phone rings. So you take a look at your phone and you see that it's your main woman trying to get in touch with you. So you quickly put it on vibrate, and then you get back to the movie. And so now the lights are off and the side piece is laying up on you, and it's about 30 minutes into the X-rated movie. So the side piece then tells you, how about we take this upstairs? So as you begin to go upstairs, you hear some loud thunder and there's some lightning, and it's still raining extremely hard. Now, as you are upstairs and you're starting to get under the covers, you hear a loud crash. So you look out the window and you run downstairs, and then you look out the door, and while it's raining extremely hard, you see that there has been a large tree that has fell across your car. The windshield is all smashed up. The hood is all bent out of shape, and the windows on the side of your vehicle, of the doors, have smashed out. Man, now you have to call and have emergency units come out, and you have to call the insurance guy, and now he has to come out, and the reports have to be made about your vehicle and what happened and the location of your vehicle when all of this went down. How are you going to explain this to your main woman? So as we always say in life, things happen for a reason. It's important that we cherish the things that we value and that we appreciate the luxuries in life, the ones that enable us to get to work and to get the family back and forth and allows us to get from point A to B. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.